Charlie.
We didn't get there.
I didn't
Is that too much?
Action.
Hey.
Welcome into the DNVR Rockies Podcast presented by StravaCraft Coffee. Remember to use that promo code DNVR20 because when you do that, you get 20% off your entire purchase of that CBD-infused, deliciously rich, and potentially life-altering StravaCraft Coffee. I am your host, Drew Creasman. I am the managing editor of DNVR Rockies. With me, as always, is beat writer Patrick Lyons, and it is Wednesday, and that means we are having some fun on the DFA show. We're looking at some highlights around the league, and we're doing one of our favorite things to do, Patrick. In fact, it's so favorite, we're going to do it again. We did it not that long ago, double dipping on some bloopers because there was no way we were going to get through all of our favorites when we did this just a couple of weeks ago. As soon as we signed off, we went, oh, but what about that? And then there was that, and then remember that. All of that. So now we get to do that with all of you. Remember that. Hit us up in the comments. Remember to join us live Monday through Friday on Facebook and Periscope at 4:05. But on Wednesday, the big day, the DFA show, you got to be here with us on YouTube. Leave your comments. Get involved. Let us know what your favorite bloopers are or your least favorite bloopers if they happen to your team, because we know there have been a few in the history of the Colorado Rockies. It's it's been a long and storied and interesting history. But one of the things, Patrick, and I talked about this before you came on the show yesterday or the day before. Who knows? Time is all completely meaningless now. But about the Kendall Hinton situation with the Denver Broncos, right? And the reminder of how difficult it is for even sometimes the best of athletes and those guys who are like that next level down to step into a situation. And they show us all how difficult the sport can be. And we're going to get a lot of reminders today about how difficult the sport can be.
Yeah, it's like being the best kid in Little League and then going, flashing forward a couple of years and being like, you didn't even make your high school squad. Like you flamed out. Maybe you got into some nefarious things you shouldn't have gotten into. And that's it. What was potentially a great career turned into nothing. And even with Kendall Hinton still trying to, be a successful wide receiver, it's like the gap from being a backup quarterback to being a starter, and rather the gap from being a practice squad QB to being that starting
even being
QB
a backup
is it's light years apart. And so,
right.
And even still, and even to just be a quarterback on the practice squad, think about how many guys would kill to have that spot. And if you had an open tryout for it, you go, dude, do you really think that you were going to be as good as Kendall Hinton was? I went to one of these tryouts and on my 21st birthday, and it was just fun to be on the field. And I go, maybe I'll just wake up on the right side of the bed and I'll just magically be able to chalk it up into.
We all convince you, right? You go, maybe? You think you convince yourself.
And there are plenty of guys you're like, hey, this guy's a good ball player, but you could very clearly go, yeah, he's not what they're looking for. And they were better than me. There are plenty of guys that were better than me, but I still knew they weren't going to make it. And then there were those other guys that go, oh my God, you think you might actually have what it takes. And they're like that clueless. Like there's just such a big gap. So these bloopers are good reminders. You called them highlights. They're almost the opposite.
Lowlights.
They are that would be the opposite, wouldn't it? No,
I think that's right.
The lowlights. We've got highlights of them because they're just so enjoyable, because we're so used to a ground ball to Trevor Story, scoops it up, fires over to first. That's the second out of the third inning here. Kyle Freeland along here with no runs against the Dodgers.
Right.
That's how it's supposed to be. But once in a while it kicks up, bounce off the guy's face. The third baseman dives to try to catch it, throws it over the first baseman's head. The runner is going all over the place. He missed his second base, has to go back and touch it. And you go, wow, that should have just been a 6-3 in the scorebook. And yet here we have this low light / highlight.
So, and Henry asking really the question of the day: how many 1 in a billion or trillion moments have there been in recent MLB history? That's one of the things that's crazy about baseball is, right, it gives you so many opportunities that you actually do see those things and that you fall into that routine because there's so many games. And then out of nowhere, something happens. I do want to start us with a Rockies-centric one. There won't be a ton of them today. Now, don't worry, don't run away. This isn't going to happen to your Rockies. This is one that I think everyone who's listening to this and watching this here on the lives will remember because it benefited the Rockies so much. But of course, what was Charlie Blackmon's gain on what was ruled, and we'll talk a little bit, I think, about rulings today, Patrick. That'll be the the kind of what do they call that in television? The B plot of today's podcast is going to be these. How do you rule this? Because
they're errors. We're talking about errors, right? And scorekeepers do it.
Right.
Managers make errors, right? They're not as funny bloopers. Grady Little leaving Pedro Martinez out there in the 2003 ALCS and going, that was a blooper, not a funny one, at least not for Red Sox fans. And you also have got those bloopers of umpires calling a guy safe when he's clearly out, or vice versa. And again, not as much fun for one fan base. We can't all laugh at it, because we can laugh at Charlie Blackmon. And we can laugh at these errors, Dexter Fowler losing his mid over center field. But those other types of errors are much harder to swallow.
Yeah, right. That's Wild the Innocent coming in. Our bloopers only bloopers as long as no one gets hurt. These are the philosophical questions that we are going to answer on today's podcast. All right, we're going to get at the heart of it. Luckily, here on this first one, nobody gets hurt except for probably Hunter Pence's pride as Charlie Blackmon laces a line drive to right, and Pence just loses it in the lights or whatever. Look, he was okay. He's hobbling back there. He doesn't look great. But to let Charlie Blackmon in his bearded stage, not young Charlie Blackmon who could really move, but you're talking bearded, full beard Charlie Blackmon with the inside the park home run, and Johnny Cueto's going, he hit a line drive right at the right fielder. Are you kidding me? 2-run home run? That's what I just got charged with?
Yeah, the hit probability on that was probably 20%, maybe
right.
Less than that, because he pretty much hit it right where a right fielder would be stationed. It was kind of a line drive. I actually think Pence probably, was positioned a little bit better than where a normal right fielder might be. So that could just dunk in for a single. So even if you look at the OPS expected for a ball hit like that, it's still relatively low. And in fact, the center fielder probably wasn't even thinking he needed to back that one up. Right. Otherwise, he probably would have been there a little bit quicker. I think that's Denard Span out there, and just totally caught him by surprise altogether. Who's that guy?
Man.
Who was that? That looked like a Yankee player. That gave
I've never seen that guy before. I've never seen that player before.
Weird.
Yeah. So and Pence has had a few of those at Coors Field as well. I know he's had a little bit of a difficulty with that ballpark, and that's something that sometimes players will tell you. There are certain ballparks that are easier and more difficult to play, but sometimes a certain guy will just be like, man, I can't deal with the vine at Wrigley, or that Triples Alley in San Francisco kills me, or like, man, I can play a great left field, but the wall in Boston is just, I can't get the handle for those, so always fun to see those kinds of things. Kale, why don't you pull up whichever one of those other videos you can at this point, and we will just live react to a few of these, and we'll have to pause them as they go through, because these are our highlight videos here. Started with the baseball coming right into the camera. Always nice. Again, we can give the people at home a little bit of feel for the speed of the game.
That's a very expensive error there. I can't imagine. I mean, Kale might have a little more experience. He's our tech boy. I think that's his official title on the show. You would probably know how expensive that something like that could be, but it's certainly not cheap. And you might not even be able to just replace the lens on that camera. Tech boy.
We're talking tens of thousands of dollars just on that lens, probably. Like,
I would have
brutal.
thought 2,000, but yeah, because you have to replace the whole thing, right? You can't just replace.
Well, no, it's not like you can just replace one panel of glass. I mean, we're not like. I mean, I'm not talking like $10,000 probably for a nice broadcast camera like that. I mean, especially one that does the zoom and has the other thing on it, like the autofocuses on them have to be crazy fast because of how fast the depth of field changes. So like they're very expensive pieces of equipment there.
Yeah,
what was the exit velo on that? We don't get exit velo on foul balls. I've talked to Manny Rendawa about this many times. I want exit velo on foul balls. That's going to come up again, by the way. But yeah,
I think that does exist, but it's just discarded information because when it was on Mother's Day.
Look at this.
On Mother's Day in 2019, I caught a foul ball off the bat of Franmil Reyes, and it knocked me backwards. I got a nice bruise on my hand, and that was coming in hot. And I should have pressured Manny to get the exit velo.
Get the exit velo.
Oh, we got a Henry Rowan Gardner there at Fenway Park. Guy chucks it off the monster. I'd be worried about losing my balance and actually going, as they say, ass over tea kettle and falling off of the monster, which might hurt.
That's one of the best pitchers in the history of baseball, looking worse than most little leaguers have ever looked. He
looked like he was maybe trying to throw a knuckleball. Sure, I mean, I know obviously Scherzer doesn't throw a knuckleball, but we had a lot of bloopers with the Rockies having issues with the tarp here, the crew in DC having a very hard time at Nationals Park. The poor guy.
No man left behind except Greg. Greg can get out of here, man.
Greg, you all right? He's like, okay, I got it. What do you guys need? I'm like, we're done. Where you were playing underneath the little tent.
Come on, man. We got here just a little.
This looks pretty normal so far.
Yeah, so far, just double down the line. Right fielder's over. Slight misplay. Oh no! He tried to throw the baseball. The baseball just wasn't going to be thrown. Not having it.
What happened? I guess that was Darren Ruff. No, his name is way too long. Oh, is that Frenchie? I think that's Jeff Francoeur out there.
That's Francoeur, one of the best arms in the game at the time. Jeff Francoeur.
He throws so fast sometimes the ball can't even keep up with his arm movement.
Maybe he threw it so hard it went all the way around the world and just landed 2 feet in front of him.
I believe it.
And remember this
cool moment. James Paxton there, starting pitcher.
Attacked by an eagle.
Bald eagle. Well, no, it certainly looked like it. I think it's more that really, he goes, "Hey, you're my keeper. You're."
That's a friendly approach, I think. Do we have any animal experts?
James Paxton doesn't have any falconry experience, I guess, unfortunately. Oh, wow, that is unfortunate. Now, see, there's gonna be a little bit of a bone bruise. Thankfully, it's nothing more than that. Poor Eric
Sogard getting a broken bat.
Chris Carter, remember him from a million years ago? Oh, wait, it was only like 2.
Right. Oh, man, broken bats don't usually make their way that far out to shortstop like that. That's you don't expect that deep in the look, and it just tripped him. It legit took his feet out from underneath.
That could have been very bad. By the way, I do like those all yellow A's.
I love those all yellow A's.
Sharp. Posey about to get cut down at third. Nope, safe. And where the heck did his helmet go?
Unconscious. Watch his face right into third. Oh, Buster Posey. What you doing? Oh, no.
This was definitely his Napoleon Dynamite moment. Oh. Have you ever seen photographs of Buster Posey and John Hader in the same place at the same time? I think not. No. Those guys have the same head.
All right, Kel, pause this one here real quick. This I hadn't seen before, Patrick. Do you have you seen this one? Is this a
clip from Midsummer? I mean, who's this guy with long flowing blonde hair? Oh, Noah Syndergaard. Actually, no, I have not. I've never seen this one. I've never seen this before in all the baseball I've watched in all my life. They're going to show a few more replays on it here, so Kel can let it go. But as they do when they get slower, the bat breaks not because of the baseball. Before the ball gets there, just out of the might of his mighty arms, swinging the plank of wood, it was not up to the task of being held by the god of thunder. That piece of lumber. It just broke in his hands. I've never seen that before. Wow. I'm almost speechless. I'm trying to think of a broken hammer of Thor joke there, but this was one that we did talk about last time. We alluded to, couldn't find the clip, and there it is. Yadi Molina is with the Molina with the Velcro stickum on the front of his chest protector, looking all around. Where is it? Where's this ball at? And it's right there, looking like the world's grossest inflamed Audi.
Ball's high.
What,
That's
Trot
deep.
Nixon?
It's Johnny Damon going back. Gonna not quite play it, throwing it in. Okay, this looks normal so far. You know,
Okay.
you just remembered what this was, didn't you?
Yes, Manny Ramirez from about, I don't know, 5 feet away. So, all right, so the first part, he jumps up to
Kale,
second
can you
base,
pause right here?
whatever. He throws it in. Manny Ramirez, 10 feet away, goes, dude, you've got a real puss arm. So you know what? Let me cut it off. He dives. So he doesn't even catch it. Yes, he dives,
Oh
falls
my
down,
God.
throws from his knees to yet another cutoff man, Bill Miller. And the runner could be Brian Roberts, slides in safely. And that was one of the early entries of Manny being Manny. His dreads weren't even all the way long just yet.
Oh man, that pause from super producer Kale was indeed super, because right as the ball was in the air, you were like, okay, so far nothing weird is about this play. And then the ball got cut off by the left fielder who dove to cut it off and throw it to another guy who cut it off. That was and then we got another ball getting stuck on the catcher in the mask this time, but you know.
That really rings your bell. I've never had that happen to me as an umpire or as a catcher, but just taking a foul ball off the mask, that is something where it might be about 2 innings until you feel normal again. And it's always a nice moment, because then some of the people in attendance will go, hey, Blue, you all right? Like, they know that rocked your world a little bit.
Yeah. The other thing is we see 50
Cent
Cent just, yeah, I did. I took a few tough ones, and I think it shows, right? I think it pretty well shows that. But yeah, no, not
being left-handed.
I know, right? Not too many, but I did once or twice. The thing that was interesting about that ball getting stuck in the catcher's mask too was they were arguing about whether or not that was strike 3, because the guy swung through it and it stuck in the catcher's mask. Here's our old friend Matt Garza. Remember Matt Garza and his inability to throw the ball to any base ever? Before there was John Lester, there was Matt Garza.
If he was in left field, he would have gone down a runner trying to tag up at third base. As it were, he was 15 feet away from first base and just sailed over the first baseman's head.
These pitchers that can have pinpoint accuracy to the plate and hit a spot within a couple of inches, and then they can't throw the ball to first. Oh, this was just last year or the year before, wasn't it? Remember that? Oh, Polanco falling down in right for the Pirates, and the Cubs get a walk-off win on a blooper to shallow right field.
Was there only one out? There had to have been only one out, because I bet
so.
he was like, Zach, he's like, I'm already under it. I'm essentially already underneath this ball. Let me see where the runner's at. You know, he might not even be thinking who's on third base at this point.
Setting up.
It looks like he's got it all the way.
Right here, he knew he was in trouble. Right about there, he knew he was in trouble.
Looking like a newborn deer.
Oh,
just arms and legs akimbo. Went up for the bare hand. Tried to do a Kevin Mitchell there. Did not.
This guy's an incredible athlete too, and look at how silly he looks.
So, Drew, let's say you're playing right field for the Pirates. Doesn't matter what team. You're playing as you in the present day, right? Yeah. There's all kinds of crazy things. They're letting journalists now play right field. You're playing right field. How long are you laying down?
Oh,
even know fully well that you just lost the game for your team, and you know you suck. You know you don't deserve to be on here. How long are you still laying down on the ground after that?
They'd have to carry me off the field.
You're gonna. We
saw this one before too, the hidden ball trick from Helton. Oh yeah, I'd still be out there, man. That's just the worst feeling in the world.
You'd wait for the lights to go off, and then you'd start to hear all the people, sweeping up the leaf blowers, to get all the trash, and you go, all right, I'm gonna go in. I'm gonna shower now.
Right.
I mean, they're not gonna let you shower, but you're gonna give it a shot. Why not? Hey, they put you in a major league game.
One of those time-lapse things from the movies. Here's Ken Giles punching himself in the face. I've seen a lot of guys slap themselves in the face. I've never seen a full closed fist knuckle punch to your own face. That was a new one for me.
That's a real Dwight Schrute move right there, I'm thinking.
Oh, this one's brutal.
Oh no, this is a different one that we.
Oh!
Wow! Wait a minute!
Off the top of the wall. You mean to tell me
2 left fielders for the Detroit Tigers
have done this?
Up assisted. Now that one wasn't as bad. That was just a real strange one where it bounced all around, kicked back onto the field. He went up to try to grab it, Yeah, I definitely want to see that again. The one we saw last month, he jumped up and pushed the ball over the fence. This one, he didn't think the ball was going to come back to him.
Yeah, he didn't realize that it had come back to in play. If he'd just got his glove on that thing, he's at least going to keep him to a double instead of letting it get out. He goes for the bare hand.
And tries to explain it to his coach. He's just nodding his head and just basically goes, yeah, but but then you pushed it over. I know what you're trying to do, but then you pushed it over, though. And that's why he got a home run. And
Jonathan VR just getting a face full of Brandon Phillips on this slide right here. That is not how they teach.
Better than any Javi Baez tag in the world. Phillips takes the throw from left center field, doesn't turn around to make the swipe tag, just sticks his butt out, puts his glove right in front of the bag, runners out.
Oh, man.
Is that Chad Qualls?
Yeah, that's Chad Qualls falling down on the fist pump celebration, striking a guy out, then falling down.
Do the Rockies still give him a 2-year deal if they see this clip? You know,
right.
Yeah, it's a blooper. It's a rare thing that happens, but is it enough to go, this guy's an embarrassment? No. We can't give him a 2-year deal.
A-Rod doing his best J-Lo impression, I guess, here. Slide. Ooh. The Diamondbacks.
We haven't seen these in a while. Cubs did that. Didn't the Cubs do
Cubs did one of those
kind of celebrations, bullpen dances? Maybe if the Angels are good next year, we'll see it again with Joe Madden inspired. Dancing is always nice. Albert
Dancing is
always.
Bartolo Colon is always nice.
Yeah. Hey, Bart, quit untucking your shirt. You got a belly. Hey, Albert, just give it a year or two. We'll see what happens.
Well, we got a full red bodysuit, so not a streaker, just a runner.
So not a green man. Not a green man. We got a red man on the field. And one of the security guards says, I'm never going to get my hands on you, so I'm just going to stick my foot out. Trips the guy. Smooth move. There's our fave, Dexter Fowler.
You got to love Dex. There we go. Big Poppy comes up about 3 feet short of second base on the slide. I'm good here. I'm fine.
Ooh, the hot foot.
Remember that? Yeah. How does he not know his foot is on fire? How do you not know your foot is on fire, Coach?
I haven't seen one of those in a while. That's it's all hazing in a sense, right? Anytime you rib somebody, it's kind of like a haze, but that's a little too far where someone really could get hurt. I also don't know what they use. If it's pine tar, if it's like stickum, I'm not sure what they use to ignite it.
Yeah,
that was the first time I ever saw a baseball player go to the sidelines and steal some food from somebody.
Remember that this became a meme. The green man outrunning the fan who thought he had it.
It's the freeze.
Yeah. Oh, that hurt. Some of these guys should really not slide into third base. Again, these are great athletes who've made it to the highest level of baseball, and some of them are showing you that sliding into third base can be a bit of an issue. And a nice little back rub from Poppy to Albert.
So Drew, I'll put this to you. You're a lanky guy with long levers.
Yeah.
Kale, you're a relatively fit guy for your age. I'm curious, how long would you need to train to beat the freeze? And for anyone who doesn't know, they do this in Atlanta, really creative, somebody who works for the team. So, he's probably working in ticket sales. And then, around the third or fourth inning, they say, all right, go put your costume on, limber up, do some stretches, plyometric, all that jazz. He goes to left field. Someone starts in about left center. They say go. So not only – actually, I think they start at the same time. But he just – the regular civilian starts from left center. So he doesn't have to run quite as far. And the freeze almost never loses. And that's what we saw. The guy showboating, almost doing a little neon Dion, going to the finish line. He trips up. The freeze beats him. Kale, Drew, how much training would you need in order to feel like you could beat the freeze in a fair race?
Oh, you're on mute. We cannot hear you, and I'm sure you're making great points.
Kale's giving an impassioned answer here.
I know. I bet it was good. Yeah.
What do you think, Drew? How long would it take?
So it would take me a couple of months, but I think I could do it. There was a time because I ran track in high school, and speed was kind of my thing in sports. That was kind of my go-to skill set. I ran at my best about a 4.5 40. I could run a 100-yard dash in 11 seconds flat. I was on the 4x4 team, all that kind of stuff. So I was a sprinter, not a long distance guy. The question is, so how long do you know? Because I'm going to run at like the 200. I ran the 200 in track in high school, and that's about as long as I can sprint. If I've got to sprint 300 yards, I never did the 400, which is once all the way around the track, I would die. So if it that's the part where I would be concerned, because I had
it would be 200. I was going to say it was half. I had my number slightly off. I actually would think it would be about 200.
I would have to train for a while. Is my mic working now?
Yeah.
Okay, sweet. I'd have to train for a while. I'd have to get my cardio up, but even then I don't know if I could do it because I wasn't a sprinter. I was like a long distance runner. It's like the shortest distance I ever did was the 400, which I did break the 1 minute mark in, which was cool.
Yeah.
But I don't think that that's fast enough to beat him.
Was it on a bike though?
No.
If so, okay. All right. Skates, blades. What do we? Foot, all foot. So Drew, you've convinced me. I'm gonna go ahead and co-sign. You said I'm not sure if you said a few or a couple. I'm gonna give you 3.5 months to train, and you got this. Kale, we're gonna set you up with a trainer. All right, we're gonna get you on a whole diet regimen. We're gonna check in. We're gonna do a whole DNVR documentary style series to see your transformation. And it is going to be more of a year-long thing. We're probably going to get about 3 or 4 seasons of content out of this training. We may need to get into more, some of your personal life, because it's not just about the physical. Now there's an emotional thing that you're going through. But I'm going to give you a year and say you're going to be able to do it as well.
And if I'm training for a year, I might as well train for like an Ironman or something.
he's like, maybe
now hold on a second.
Than racing the freeze. He's like, that's what
hold on a second.
Dedicate a year of my life to racing some Jagoff in a green suit in Atlanta.
An Ironman is like running a 100-miler. Like an Ironman is like a marathon. I'll give you a year. You could definitely do a marathon with some good training, but Ironman, come on, that's a couple extra disciplines.
But I used to be a competitive biker and swimmer. I feel like I could pick it up.
All right, you can do.
Okay.
How about I'll give you an Olympic length triathlon, which is half. It's a half Ironman. I'll give you that.
A year. I think in a year I could do that. I'm not saying I'd be fast. I think I could finish one.
Dude, I've run marathons. I've done 50-mile races. I've run 67 miles in 24 hours. Like that was for fun.
Horrible. Why would you do that to yourself?
Yeah,
for fun. And I slept for 3 hours in the middle because I had just worked the day before. That's for funsies. But guess what? When someone tells me they ran a 5K, I'm like, dude, that's what it's about. Like that's you. That's your marathon right there.
Right.
So I'm like, it's props. You know what I mean? So it really doesn't matter the distance. It's what's good for you. There's no I'm better, you're better, your time. Just to finish it is it's amazing. It's amazing.
So just funny, responding to Will's comment real quick. That's just funny that you mentioned pentathlon. My brother's wife used to be on the World Cup for pentathlon, so that's kind of funny.
So
you guys are just making stuff up now.
The Ironman.
No, I'm not. That's literally true.
The Ironman is a triathlon. So
Yes.
you start with a swim, you do the bike, then you do the run, which is the hardest. What would the other two disciplines be if somehow the triathlon, they just said, you know what, it's been too easy, too many people are doing tries, we need to make them pentas. What else would it be?
So pentathlon is.
I know what a real pentathlon is.
Do you actually? Can you name all 5 disciplines?
Chess.
No.
Yeah, hold on, I'm not finished. Bowling. Hold on. Javelin. No, that's actually decathlon, I think.
It's weird. So I'd be surprised if you would know it.
Because
it's
shot put?
Swimming, running, shooting, horseback riding, and fencing.
Okay, I did not know about this.
Yeah.
I'm thinking in the Olympics because they don't do that they don't have. So
pentathlon's an Olympic sport.
In the Winter Olympics?
No, it's the Summer Olympics.
Really?
Yeah.
Now the decathlon, I know. Like that's where all the best athletes.
Completely different thing.
That's Bruce Jenner. Oh,
yeah, this
I
is
was
more
not aware.
considered like because the finals, quote unquote, it's more of like it's more of an equestrian event because the finals is the horseback riding.
Okay.
But it's a weird it's a weird sport.
Shooting and horseback
my
riding.
brother's wife was on the World Cup for it.
Horseback riding and shooting are the final two legs of that.
No, this is very confusing. Your swim is separate, and then your running and your shooting are together, and then you have a separate round for fencing, and all of those you get points for.
Fencing.
And if you have enough points, you make the cut, and if you make the cut, the final is then a horse jumping event.
All right. Well, our new DNVR pentathlon. We're going to brand this. We're going to see if we can get it done. It's going to be traditional. We're going to do the swim, bike, run. The fourth discipline is going to be Lego. Now, not Legos. I've been told by people it's not Legos, it's Lego. So you're going to have to go ahead and assemble, I'm thinking the Millennium Falcon. And it's going to be hard because you're going to be jittering, right? You're taking some of those gel shots and whatever it is. That's going to be the fourth one. You got to assemble it. It's got to be right.
We're going to get an angry DM from someone who's like really into pentathlon in like a week, just like digging into Patrick, like you're making fun of a really competitive sport. And
the fifth one is going to be baking. So you've got to make, I've been watching a lot of the great British.
Damn, I was going to win this thing right up to that part. You threw a curveball at me there at the end.
But since you're pretty good at the first four, like all you got to really do is work hard on that baking thing. And it's baker's choice too, right? So you can kind of go crazy and depending on the judges.
Directions. I've got those cake mix direction. I mean, no one hates chocolate cake, right? It won't be, whatever. I'll be all right. I'll be okay.
You're going to need to do a lot of chocolate work. You got to do a little sponge sugar. So, but I think you got this. I think you got this.
All right.
Kale,
all right. Do we want to watch more bloopers?
All right. No, I got to get us back on track here.
How much more time do you need to train for the Lego and the baking disciplines?
Another 2 months at least. I haven't picked up a Lego set in 10 years.
Confidence. All right. So, Drew, you only need about 5 months, and you're ready to take over the world.
Yeah, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go.
Love it.
All right. Before we get to our second set of bloopers here, we do have to, and if this was the DNVR bets program, they would have already been laying bets on what type of bloopers we're going to see here in this second and final grouping here. How many of them are going to be actual errors? How many of them are going to be not counted as errors? How many of them are going to not even actually include on-field plays and all that stuff? So if you've got the same kind of problem or solution that they do to making sports a whole lot more fun, well, then you've got to download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and start getting skin in the game. Now, I don't believe you can yet lay your bets on the pentathlon, but you can take your bets in college football, which is pretty fantastic because this weekend Gonzaga and Baylor will be going toe-to-toe for what could be the nation's top ranking and draft book. No, that's not right. DraftKings Sportsbook. I've said it enough times you would think I would know.
It should be a verb, though. It should be a verb. We should be. Make sure your draft booking out there, folks.
Yeah.
Make sure you're sports booking and draft kinging.
All of those things together in all of the order, though when you're searching for the app, of course, you want to go ahead and get it right. But they have got all the college basketball fans who sign up now the chance to win $100 when betting on either Gonzaga or Baylor to win this Clash of Titans. Plus, you'll get a deposit bonus of up to $1,000 when signing up using promo code DNVR. Must be 21 or older. Colorado only. Bonus comprised of a first deposit bonus. Deposit bonus requires 25 by playthrough. Restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details. And if you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-522-4700.
And my DraftKings Sportsbook pick of the week is coming tomorrow. Still doing my scouting, and for all our hardcore listeners.
On pick of the week right there.
I'll tell you what.
We would have shut the whole show down and sent everybody home. It would have been a Vince Carter moment in the dunk contest.
Who's going to win this fictitious sport, right? Well, I know people are clamoring. I've had people reach out to me because my hot streak is still going on. Chelsea and Tottenham did play to a draw last week, so I'm still going hot. I'm still scouting. I really want to make sure I I put some money in your guys' hands. So look for that pick tomorrow.
I like that. I like that.
I don't want to make
up.
a blooper. I don't want to make a blooper here. I got a streak going here. It's
Yeah,
almost Joe DiMaggio-esque.
Right. It basically is. Better than, I would say. So, all right, Kale, whenever you are ready, hit us up with that second group of bloopers. Got stuff flying around in my room here. Got everything going on. I'm swinging. If anyone's wondering why I'm swinging my arms wildly, got stuff. So I think there are going to be a couple of repeats in this one, but for the most part, these should be new. Tearing the cover off the ball, that's something that happens every once in a while.
You know what we don't see? A lot of old-timey clips. I don't know if it's because there weren't as many bloopers or if because nobody laughed at stuff like that. I mean, guys in the other dugout, right, they would laugh about it. You'd brush it under the rug. You go, I hope this clip never sees the light of day. Like, we're not going to show it. They also didn't show highlights. You know, you just watch the game live, and then that's that.
No.
There was no highlight package of the stuff. So, in fact, it's hard to even find bloopers in the 70s. Like, I feel like 80s was kind of that era when they had what's the show with Mel Allen? I just totally This Week in Baseball. This Week in Baseball is where it was at. This ball boy's giving signs from the Astros. He may have actually been giving signs. We still need to investigate that.
Actually, yeah, that's a funny thing at the time. That ball boy might have been involved in some horrible scandal. Now that we think about it,
yeah.
David Ortiz leaves the batter's box for ball 4, way before the pitch gets home. Here's an older one for you.
This is the '86 World Series. It might have been I don't know if it was game 1 or game 2, but we got a little skydiver coming in at Shea Stadium. Gets a nice round of applause. I think nowadays, I think that guy would probably get mobbed, don't you?
Oh, yeah.
In New York, like people would be actually really pissed that he did that.
Kale, have you seen this one before? This was one that got famous there for a little while.
AJ Burnett.
Warming up. You don't usually see a truck out of your periphery when you're pitching, so I could see how he could miss his spot by that much. But...
Or Billy the Marlin. It scared the caviar out of him, if you know what I'm saying. If you know what I'm saying, though?
I think I am.
Okay.
I do. Yeah.
Okay, good.
Right. Oh, man.
Okay, that one, that guy could have gotten hurt in this.
Yeah, that's where we're getting borderline, like, less fun. I guess it's funny because no one did get hurt, but hoy.
He could have gotten turned around on that one. Oh, yeah, there's our buddy, Pat Venditti. Can pitch from the right-hand side, can pitch from the left, has a switch glove. Yeah, you can put it on both hands. I miss Pat. Creighton University.
Not quite sure why they're beating up on this poor mascot here. Though down with mascots, so I'm fine with it. What is Chris Sale flipping his? I'm not sure what he's got there. Probably gum or something.
It's a fun little game you play with kids where you pretend you have a little seed or a peanut in your hand. You throw it up in the air and you catch it in a little paper bag. But in this case, he just had a little cup. And he didn't have any seeds.
There's the ball going right through Chris Davis's glove. This happened to somebody else just this last year. I'm trying to remember. Went right through the webbing in the glove. That's someone running around in the back.
Thankfully, AJ Burnett was not on the mound for this game because that would have had no laps.
Oh, man. Someone could have been.
James Shields?
Yeah, James Shields biting the bat.
Yeah.
Totally
you can't
normal.
keep a guy like that around. You got to trade him to the league with the DH at that point if he's chewing on lumber.
Get him out of there.
We need to have this camera a little bit more. The cricket cam.
Oh, yeah. I love that. It's a great angle. Ball bounces.
We definitely don't see that camera in front of home plate enough. Here we got that probably Danny Echeverria and maybe Miguel Rojas wearing different style Miami Marlins caps. That's a very high school thing.
Yeah. What's going on here? He's arguing with the ump on the way down. That was interesting. Oh, Bartolo. You know, we can make fun of Bartolo Colon for swinging and his helmet coming off, but Nolan Arenado does this all the time.
Very true. Nolan's got a slightly better physique than Bartolo Colon. He's about 2 decades younger. And
again, I want the exit velo on this foul ball. Holy crap.
Hits signage in foul territory in left field. something that's at least 500 feet away. And it's at such an angle where you'd have to pull the ball like crazy. There's no way anyone would hit it out there. Thus, we don't have to worry about this, breaking. And yet, Joey Bats, Jose Batista, David Wright. It's something about the bats in the Queens. Again, this one snaps off. At least he made contact before it broke.
Yeah, again, that could have been scary as it is, just kind of silly. Twice that's happened to Garrett Cole where he's trying to get the rosin bag and it bursts on him.
Right, this is a Pittsburgh thing. This is very clearly some Pittsburgh shenanigans going on. It may have one of the nicest ballparks, but the grounds crew is a little bit questionable with the pranks that they're pulling.
All right, we need a replay. We need a pause and a Kale input on this one here. I need a grading. I need on a 20 to 80 scale. Now, this is a soccer and football move. Adam Jones, not happy, spits out his gum in the air, gets it. The form, I need a grade on that form. I mean, he nails the gum in air. That's a small target, but the follow through is beautiful.
I'm going to give it like a 9 out of 10. I mean, there's not much that could have been better. If he got if he would have nailed the landing instead of tripping up his feet a little bit, I think it would have been perfect. But solid 9. I mean, to be able to make such good contact out of the air, I mean, no complaints here.
That would be about a 75 on the old 20-80 scale. I particularly liked the homage to, clearly, I don't know, is that an homage to Paul O'Neill kicking that ball into the infield, or is it an homage to Mr. Kurt Hennig? Mr. Perfect, who also used to spit his gum out and hit it 41 minutes, 40 seconds. Right. Which one is that an homage to there, Drew?
Both. I think it's both, which makes it the best thing ever, really.
Yeah, that actually could be my favorite blooper right now with Adam Jones.
You can pay homage to Paul O'Neill and Mr. Perfect Kurt Hennig at the same time. I like Julio Teheran's reaction to that absolutely abhorrent call. He just decided to bite the baseball rather than scream out the umpire.
Now, this happens a lot. The foul ball, and we talked about it. We didn't get to see it, but the foul ball that gets caught in somebody's beer, whether it lands there or whether, they're not paying attention, it kind of bounces in, or they actually decide to use the cup as a glove-like receptacle, which is immediately followed by a chugging of said beer.
I'm going to say, now that lady, now we don't know. They cut her off there, so I'm not sure, but I think there's one later where someone will. So I hope that I don't want to roast that woman too hard for not chugging the beer because the camera cut away because there's
she chugged it.
So this happened to me when I was at Coors once. I didn't catch it, but it happened to someone near me. But it landed like right in their cup so hard that beer just went everywhere.
Yeah.
Like it just
yes.
like 15 people in the surrounding area got wet, and there was like that much beer for him to actually chug when he actually was all said and done.
That does make me think that at the DNVR bar, we definitely need, not sake bombs and not Irish car bombs. We need to have baseball bombs where you've got your baseball, and I don't know, maybe it's some kind of flavored frozen liqueur. You drop it in the drink, you chug it like you would at a baseball game. I think we've got an opportunity there.
That's
baseball bombs.
I love it. Who is the catcher? Is that McCann trying to frame this pitch that bounced? That's hilarious. Look at him trying to. And Hunter Pence
he's got to appreciate that.
I don't know what's going on here.
That has got to be a rubber snake. There's no way. That's like a cobra. He's got the headdress almost on the top. Jose Fernandez.
Yeah.
Can't have that. Shenanigans. Another Denard Span clip here.
Anytime you can get Denard Span. This is actually a Joe Mauer clip. Watch him on
not a blooper, just great athletic ability.
Yeah.
Could have been a great hockey goalie.
Yeah. You got here. Oh, that was a big loud thunder clap. I remember that one. So we don't have any volume on this one, but right as the pitch comes down, you get
Melky Cabrera. It scared the you-know-what out of him.
Evil Cargo trying to fix the fence. Can't get it done.
Evil Cargo? I've never heard that for Carlos Gomez. I do like that.
That was an old one. Evil Cargo back in my Purple Row days.
Although Carlos Gomez, I think his career got to start before Carlos Gonzalez.
I think that's right.
You have to go back and look at that. But Cargo, our Cargo, the Cargo, had a much
Right.
bigger impact, of course, as we know. And nobody would draft Carlos Gomez for a home run derby club. That's for sure.
Right. I love I've said we did this on our ballpark draft, but as much as I don't like San Francisco and I don't like it when the Rockies play out there because they tend to lose a lot, the people out in the Bay are always entertaining.
McCovey Cove, you can just have fun out there. We got some paddleboarding. We got a lady floating around, holding her glove in the air, like it's her rifle in Vietnam or something. She didn't come up with the ball. That was it. I've even seen those clips of people where they jump in, like just going. I mean, I think that would be me, where I go, this is just my chance. I don't care if there's a camera on me. This is my chance to say, I've jumped in with all my clothes on. It's going to be heavy. I'm really going to need to bust my butt to get to swim to safety because I'm going to be really weighed down. But I need to do this to get this ball. Like, I think you just have to do that.
Oh, Jose Bautista playing with toys, but counting the 3 count. Another wrestling situation going on here. I don't know about this mascot stuff. I'm not big into the mascot shenanigans. It's maybe the one exception to the rule about somebody getting hurt. Now, not the person inside the mascot suit getting hurt, but if the mascot gets hurt, then it's fine. Now, this gal's going to chug the beer.
She's a gamer.
Yeah, she knows the rule. First of all, she's going to celebrate to everyone, and the whole
this is in San Diego too. We're not talking Wrigley Field. San Diego. She knows the rules. One bite, everybody knows the rules. One gulp, everybody knows the rules.
Yeah. And not a Kale situation where, Gomez.
Now that's evil cargo.
That was evil cargo. Uppercut.
Punching the cooler. Next day, he has a little note.
Go back, give us this one more time, Kale, because, evil cargo again with another appearance. And we've seen people take bats to coolers before. By the way, that beer, not a Kale situation where most of it was gone. She drank that whole thing. But, yeah, here we go. The bat, man, he's going to town.
Here's the thing. That is a rectangular cooler. Is that why you wanted to go back to that?
Oh, what are you doing? The uppercut, bro. Look at the form on that thing.
So he apologized to the old school cylindrical Gatorade cooler, but he did not apologize to the boxy one, the rectangular prism cooler. And that's
Carlos
where
Gomez versus Nate Robinson. Book it.
Stone Cold as guest ref. Ooh,
I'm in.
Slipping two in that. 47-34.
All
right, we got to figure out. Okay, this is Cargo again. This is Cargo and Evil Cargo.
But he was wearing a Mazzara jersey. They both had AJ Burnett. So nice we get it twice.
Nomar Mazzara, also a free agent, much like Carlos Gomez is, as he was non-tendered a contract. Actually, it doesn't make a player a free agent if you're non-tendered a deal. But that's besides the point.
Yep, right.
This might be my top 10. Adrian Beltre wants to get a better look at the pitcher, so he gets a little bit closer to home
right, we're gonna
plate
pause, Cal.
so he can see it, and then the umpire says, "No, you got to stand in the batter's box or the on deck circle, which is literally a circle." And so he goes, "Fine, I'm going to drag it over to where I was standing." And Jerry Davis says, "Sorry, bro, you're gone."
Yeah, you're out of here. And then this one, Eddie Butler with their throwback uniforms, forgetting you can't wear white sleeves because guys can't see the baseball. So at the beginning of the game, they had to go out there and cut his sleeves off. We love Eddie Butler on this show. We are a pro Eddie Butler program, but he has done some silly things.
Yeah, the umpire was he was not happy. He was like, I can't believe we have to do this. Like we should have started this game. Hey, there's Manny doing something good.
That one was actually a fun one.
He didn't actually make a blooper. It was just like, you know what? Let's actually show him doing something good. The blooper was that he makes the catch, needs to take about 7 more steps to slow that locomotion down, then comes up, foot plants off the wall and says, I'm going to give a high five to that guy. Boom. And he throws it in. And you see his arm and you go, now I know why you cut that ball off from Johnny Damon. Actually, I'm starting to look like Johnny Damon. I better be careful. By the time this COVID thing breaks up, man, look out. Right. I'm angling for a razor deal. You know what I mean? We'll see if we can get Gillette as a sponsor, and then this whole thing's coming off, baby.
Exactly, right? We'll figure it out. In the meantime, we'll have to get everyone to weigh in on our lookalikes who in the game of baseball, everybody on DNVR staff, we'll have to do that at some point, who are our doppelgangers. But always fun, Patrick, for the best in the world to remind us that they too can look remarkably human, or in some cases, as you put, very deer in the headlights, like playing this game. It can be a humbling experience. Those are the best in the world, and sometimes you just look silly. It's fun, man.
Yeah, my quick math in my head came up with every year there's about 500,000 pitches thrown for 1 year. That's 500,000 opportunities for us to have something we've never seen before. And
Right.
no two plays are the same. That's not necessarily true. Again, there's a lot of 6-3 ground balls that look a lot alike and fly ball to deep center field. But
Right.
no two bloopers look alike, even when they look remarkably close, because there's always some other element. And the one clip that I'm looking forward to seeing eventually, if we go for a round 3 here, is you remember old Ruben Rivera running the bases, and he was stealing on the play, so he went from first to second pretty easy, started going to third base. Then the third base coach said, dude, the ball got caught. So now he had to turn back to run, and he missed second base. He went back and forth a couple times, decided he wanted to go from where the shortstop was back to first base, forgetting that he needed to touch second base. It was almost as bad as him trying to steal Derek Jeter's mitt in the clubhouse and sell it one day on the black market, which is a real thing. Look it up. Ruben Rivera's had a couple of bloopers in his life.
Yeah, a couple of bloopers there. But unfortunately, we will have to call it good where we're at for the day. There will always be more. There are always more opportunities. Like we said, hit us up on social media at Drew Creasman, at Patrick Lyons, at DNVR_Rockies. Email us, Patrick or Drew, at thednvr.com. Hit up Kale if you want to. Hit him up on Twitter at Kale Sorbo. Say, I want to make sure that this blooper is shown on the next DFA show, and we will make sure to show it, because as much as we would love to have encyclopedic knowledge of all of the very silly things that have happened in this game, we do not. So,
Kale, what's your email address? We need to know. Is it super producer Kale at the DNVR? Is it Tech Boy? Is it?
It's
SPK?
just Kale, spelled Kalle, at thednvr.com. It's pretty simple.
That makes sense.
Tech Boy, BOITECHBOI at.
If we're going BOI, it's just got to be TEK, man. Come on. TEKBOI. It's better for branding. It's like 3-on-3.
That's right.
It's like Run DMC. We're going to get a Run DMC logo just for Kale. Tech Boy at the DNVR.com. We might have to set up that email if people start sending. We're going to start emailing to an account that doesn't exist. Oh, no, man. We'll set up techboy at the DNVR.com. Let us know. We will. And as Wild the Innocent says, always enjoyed those blooper moments on This Week in Baseball. So this is something that we can do semi-regularly. Send us clips. We'll play them on the show and talk about them. We're never going to get tired of reacting to fun and silly and random and weird things in baseball. And I doubt that you will either. So thanks for hanging out with us today. We appreciate all of you. Make sure you're subscribed to the DNVR.com. That way you don't miss out on any of that written content. Patrick published a piece today running you through a lot of this minor league stuff that's going on out there. I really, really highly recommend those of you that are interested in that whole element. It's been a whirlwind for a while, that you check that out. And if you really want to celebrate, the baseball in Colorado, especially those of you that are really, really down on the Rockies right now, but you don't want to give up on baseball in Colorado, this is another way you can celebrate it. And now's the time to learn about all this stuff. So you got to be a subscriber to read that piece. Yeah, thanks. It was a fun little write-up, and yeah, we knew the news was coming about the Pioneer League, but as it happens, we're going to have a third team, a professional team, not under the umbrella of minor league baseball, but third team coming to Northern Colorado, and a whole gigantic facility that will make things really exciting. So we're looking forward to that. Not all bad news in the world of minor league baseball, after all.
Absolutely. So we'll be covering that in the future, as well as everything having to do with your Colorado Rockies. And we are looking to have a very, very special guest for next week's DFA show. You're going to want to block out time on your schedule. You're going to want to make sure you don't miss this thing, because I'm going to go ahead and say it. We've got it locked in unless something comes up. We know we're all living in a world where we've got to be loose.
No teasers? We don't want to tease them?
Should I tease it? Should I just let everybody know? What do you think? Should we get a producer's opinion on this? Because since we have one right now,
I think we got to tease.
You can say it. There's only 2 people hanging out, so give them a little teaser.
Here,
Edit it out of the podcast later, so people had to be here for it.
Oh, okay. All right, let's do that. So if you're listening to the podcast, you're about to hear me sign off. If you were one of the last 2 people hanging out with us here on the live on the YouTube, you get a special little, so fantastic. Wild the Innocent paying you back with a little tech boy love for hanging out next week on the DFA show at around 6:30 on, or not 6:30 Eastern time. It'll be 4:30 Mountain time. We will be having the pitcher who threw the best season in Colorado Rockies history by the numbers, Marvin Freeman, will be joining the show. It's going to be a whole lot of fun. We're going to get the absolute most of the time with him that we can. I cannot wait. We are stoked on it. So make sure that you are here for that next Wednesday, that you're joining us for everything in the meantime, and you're remaining absolutely awesome out there. We will remain absolutely Patrick Lyons, Drew Creasman, and Cale Sorbo in here. And until next time, we will see you at the ballpark.